Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Semoskiy Winter. Our heroes today are going to be Mr. ASSBAG, playing as the US forces in the yellow. And his opponent in the red is going to be Mr. Jove, playing as the Oster or Wehrmacht faction in the aforementioned reds. So no OKW. Who'd have thought? But yeah. Sorry guys again for no video. Hot fixes tend to fuck everything up, so it kind of sucks in that sense. But oh well, we're back for the last game of the week, and hopefully I can get some decent amount of games covered before I leave next week. So yeah, I'm not gonna be here next week. So again, few videos, but again, I'm gonna try on the weekend to at least get a couple videos up there so that we have some videos during the week. So there you go. So anyways, we see Mr. Jove, which of course is an amazing player. I mean, he is currently, at least at the time of casting this, holding the #1 spot for 3 of the factions, and the #2 spot for the other 2. So, kind of good, He kind of knows his stuff. but yeah, the Oster is his weakest. It's #2, So we're gonna see him in his off faction. So anyways, we see him building tier 1 to start off with, pretty usual, getting himself 2 Grenadiers and the MG42, which is, pretty solid start. But we do see that right off the bat, he has already selected his Doctrine, and that is the Elite Troops Doctrine. Now, of course, this Doctrine is controversial, to say the least. Not a lot of people like it because of the Tiger race, and, they feel that it's too game-changing. But the elite forces have, well, not suffered, but they have had a change in the recent patch. Now, with the reworking of the OKW, they went ahead and also reworked a lot of abilities that change the way that resource is gathered, I suppose is the way to say it. Sorry about that. And with it, they also changed. I don't know. I'm talking about resources because it's nothing to do with resources here. But they also changed veterancy and the ability to get veterancy outside of combat. So, for example, with the riflemen on the U.S. forces, the elite riflemen that you could purchase before, those are no longer the case. They're not veteran and such. So they made a couple changes, and one of the changes with the elite troops, as we see the Grenadiers here winning this engagement on the left-hand side of the map against these rifles. Rifles having to run through an MG42 inside the church, which will take some good shots on them, getting some damage, but it's not going to kill the squad. So, yeah, we do see a big flank here on that Grand Squad, which is going to force a retreat. But anyways, the elite troops used to have the ability to gain veterancy on squads. You would just basically spend, I believe it costs fuel or something like that. I actually forget because I didn't see it used that often. Although it's kind of hard to see it used because it's just an ability that you pop on a squad or a unit. But anyways, yeah, you used to be able to purchase veterancy basically for whatever unit you wanted, and they moved that out, and they actually now gave you stormtroopers, which is interesting. They also changed the Jaeger light infantry packages, I believe. They reduced the command point requirements, which means that Grens, these guys are building, but Grens are able to get the G43s a lot earlier than they used to, so you kind of have a little bit more of a window to utilize them and have a bigger punch. But of course, you do sacrifice the ability to get the LMG afterwards, so something to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean, it's reworked. It's a little bit different than what it once was. It's still, of course, the ability that has that Tiger race at the end, which a lot of people are still going to hate that it exists in the game. But it's an interesting doctrine now, which the stormtroopers we'll see how they work out. So we see ASSBAG running his rifles all the way to the south edge. Well, not the edge, but to the south of the map to take this cutoff point and disconnect the southern resources, although it doesn't really give too much. The fuel point in the winter versions are on the island and on the hay bales up in the north, which means that, you know, it's a little bit of a, how do I want to say it, more difficult to cut them off. But yeah, regardless. So anyways, we do see Grens coming back to respond. Rifles taking quite a beating, down to 3 men. We even see a grenade getting tossed here, as it stuns one of the rifles back there. Grand Squad down to 2 men. They are not getting the support here by this guy, so they're actually not shooting at full strength. Otherwise, they probably would have won that engagement, but, well, there it goes. Fuel point in the island has gotten capped there by the Grens of Jove. We have some rear echelons capturing territory as well, now getting shot up by the Grens, taking some damage and probably going to be forced to retreat. Center map, we do still have that MG42 covering the entire territory. We do have a lieutenant on the field for ASSBAG, which probably going to be leading into the utility car, I would only assume, but we'll see. Does get a medic on the field, however, and brings it out onto the front. Well, not a medic, but an ambulance. Wow, why am I switching the names on everything right now? And then sent it back, so it doesn't look like it was actually intended to go out into the field, so there you go. Rifles were outside of the house, as otherwise it would have just been getting shot by the MG42, so they move out of the way, and rifles up in the north are capturing territory as much as they can. So down south, the engagement still goes on. Oh, nice stun grenade going off on the lieutenant inside the house. No members inside able to shoot back, but they don't really take that much damage. They're still there, 5 members strong, and the Grens are down to 3 and out in the open, so they are going to have to move out of the way. They backpedal and move their way to the victory point on the right-hand side. They're going to get there, and they're going to be fine. They'll also be able to place themselves into some heavy cover, although, ooh, bad positioning there is not going to allow them to cap at the same time, which is unfortunate, but it happens. 2-2-2 now on the field for Jove as he gets himself his tier 2. 2-2-2. Having a big impact there against the lieutenant. Lieutenant popping in the house, popping out the other side, and retreating as it doesn't want to go up against the 2-2-2. And down south, we have some Pios capturing some territory. Up in the north, we see Grens moving up and recovering some territory by themselves. We see rifles moving up and flanking the MG inside the church. Grand Squad out in, not Grand Squad, Rifle Squad out in the open, getting caught by the MG42. And we do see the Stormtroopers making an appearance here on the game for Jove. And that is going to be pretty cool for him. Stormtroopers do have... Oh. I haven't been actually able to see the Stormtroopers too much. So they have the ability to get Shrek, but it's only 1. It's, you know, not 2 like the Panzer Grenadiers. They get access to the Sturmgewehr 44 assault rifles with the IR, right? Well, no, it's not the ones with the IR. Okay, but anyways, yeah, it's basically assault rifles, so they're better at short range. And then we also have the G43s because of the Doctrine, which it seems to be getting right now. So there you go. So anyways, engagement in the center. Storm troopers for the Empire, capturing that center victory point, moving back. 2-2-2, laying into that shack. Not really doing too much. I mean, it is an autocannon. It's really more impacting on the wall in front of it. And we do see a pack gun also getting brought up for Jove as he builds that. G43 is getting popped there by the Stormtroopers, getting some good shots there on the Lieutenant. The Lieutenant with the bar and the Tommy gun, able to do a decent amount of damage close up to the Stormtroopers. However, they are being outgunned and killed off rather quickly. Forced to retreat down to 2 men, and down they go. And of course, with the loss of the Lieutenant himself, the Tommy gun was lost and reduced their close quarters combat capabilities significantly. So we don't see the utility car. We instead see the anti-air half-track on the field, getting some shots going off on the 2-2-2. 2-2-2 goes down, and Jove suffers a significant loss right there in the center, as the anti-air half-track now really has not a lot to worry about. Of course, Fausts are always a threat, but I mean, those are going to kill it. We do have the pack gun, however, which has not been spotted yet, as it has only come into the field, so that might potentially take out that anti-air half-track, but it seems unlikely. Grant's inside that house, getting some shots there on the rifles. The rifles down to 2 men, but they do force the retreat of the Grand Squad from the church, as it takes quite a beating to the flak gun of the anti-air half-track. Over on the far right-hand side, rear echelon squad gonna try to cap some territory as the Pio's moving close to them. Rear echelon squad does have a sweeper, which means only 2 of them are actually fighting, which means they're going to get their ass kicked down to 2 men, only 1 weapon in their repertoire, so yeah, they're quickly forced to retreat, and away they go. Pack moving around close to the edge. I mean, remember the, you know, you can move through the river, but of course you always risk getting yourself sunk. We do see that a Faust apparently has gone off by a Grand Squad up in the north, getting a shot off on the anti-air half-track, bringing it down to half health with a damaged engine. What is that there? Huh. It's weird. You can actually still see the corpse there. As if we were still alive. Crew pops out. Is going to get some repairs going. The pack gun moves up to try and finish off the half-track. But, well, he just basically gets himself shot up by rifles. And now ASSBAG has a free pack gun. So, there you go. All part of the plan. So ASSBAG now in great shape with the brand new acquiring of a pack gun. We also see ASSBAG going for the captain now on the field. So as far as anti-tank capabilities, he's pretty much set right now with the pack gun. He saves himself the trouble of having to even get that anti-tank gun from his own side. And the flag half-track has not a lot to worry about now. Gren's getting torn up here by the anti-air half-track. Stormtroopers managing to get into some heavy cover by the tractor there. Gren's popping inside the house. And behind them we have some more Gren's moving around. Stormtroopers forced to retreat. The anti-air half-track, again, not having much that is opposing it. We do have the MG42 there set up, and it could pop its incendiary rounds, which it does. However, the anti-air half-track moves itself right out of its range, and it's not going to get the shots going, so the incendiary rounds are not going to get to do the damage. Gren's in the center. Panzer Grenadiers coming up behind them. Panzer Grenadiers, I mean, considering that the Stormtroopers got the G43s, I mean, they can still actually get the Shrek, so, you know, Panzer Grenadiers don't necessarily have to get the double Shreks, but we'll see. Captain, though, take quite a beating, forced to retreat. Anti-air half-track moves into support. Panzer Grenadiers move out of the way. They do get themselves suppressed, but they manage to break a line of sight behind the hedge, so they are still okay. Anti-air half-track moving further forward, but the Panzer Grenadiers are not going to move out. Rear echelon squad inside the house are going to get shot by the Panzer Grenadiers, although only one of them can shoot, because even though there's 4 windows in that side, only one of them is actually able to look past the fence. So the ones at the bottom do have line of sight issues there. Anti-air half-track moves to the edge of the river, getting some shots going on the Gren's. The Gren's forced to retreat. And yeah, I mean, Jove doesn't seem to be doing very well right now. Stewart also coming into play for ASSBAG, so yeah, he's going to have a lot of power right now. Panzer Grenadiers forced to pop out of the shack, forced to retreat. And the rear echelon squad inside this house, they don't even take much damage at all. The anti-air half-track having quite a field day. 6 kills so far. Veteran C1 acquired. And the Stormtroopers up in the north. Getting harassed here. Let me take a drink here because my throat is killing me. And there, half-track going for a nice little drive-by, getting some shots going into the house as the MG42 is unable to really do too much to it. However, manages to set itself up at a nice little angle. Incendiary rounds fly, and down goes the anti-air half-track for Mr. ASSBAG. A nice little control there for Jove, making sure that that MG was facing in the right direction. Not sure if it was intentional or just, you know, what ended up happening, but that anti-air half-track suffered the consequences of its transgressions. But anyways, rifles getting caught out in the open by the MG. Forced to quickly retreat. Stormtroopers on the side helping on the flank. Stewart is now on the field again. Jove does get himself another pack gun to replace the one he lost or gifted there. And yeah, Stewart does force a retreat though of the Pios. Grens are nearby. The Grens could get a Faust going. Looks like they might be waiting there. Pack gun takes a shot, impacts against the wall, whiffing it completely, and the Steward is left to be able to just get out of there without much of any consequence happening there. MG42 moving back into the center, probably going to be popping inside that church. Down in the southern island, we see the Panzer Grenadiers and the Grens engaging together. Second Gren squad with an LMG supporting as well. And we see a squad getting killed inside the shack. Considering what we see up here, I think it was the rear echelon squad that got itself annihilated. Captain inside the house, taking some shots with the bazookas. Steward moving down south to engage the Grens. Pack gun moving down south to support, but the Steward is currently breaking line of sight with the shack. Grens popping out, popping in. They're going to let it begin. And the Steward moves out of the way, slides across the ice, and is going to move its way down to the far south. That's a very risky maneuver here, considering the pack gun. I don't think he knows that it's there just yet, so it might actually get itself cut off. We do have the Grunt Squad capturing the territory. Potential for a Faust here, considering its location. Grunt Squad gonna get shot. Does lose one of its members, but it is, like I said, right there for the taking. Pack gun puts itself in a weird angle, but it is a supported angle, so that's fine. Grunt Squad gonna be pushing forward. Shot flies. Wow, that pack gun is just horrible. Second shot flies, does not get a hit on the Steward. Faust does go off. Gets a crit on the engine. However, the Steward may actually be able to get itself out of there. Over in the center of the map, we do hear, or, you know, there was a little bit of a bigger engagement, I suppose. We have a lot of infantry for ASSBAG moving around. We do still have that MG42 inside the church, locking down the territory. The pack gun, the stolen pack gun is there, but not in range to shoot. Actually, it is in range to shoot, but not sure if it's actually wanting to shoot. And the Steward, down to a sliver of health, moving itself to the far edge of the map. Gets itself killed, as it was actually now careening out of control. And Jove manages to score himself a nice little kill there, so even though he did lose that pack gun needlessly, he manages to stabilize, getting the kills on both of the vehicles for ASSBAG, so that puts him in quite a good spot. I mean, army value wise, 47 to 53, so pretty even there, so it should be fine. MG42 managing to retreat from the center, barely alive with a sliver of health left. Veterancy 3 acquired, so that is a very nice save there for Jove. Could have been, well, I mean, even though losing the veterancy wouldn't be that important with the MG, considering you wanted there for control, it would have probably been stolen, so that would have also been rather bad. And we actually see ASSBAG going for a 50 cal machine gun himself, so he does want an MG, so that would have been nice for him. Again, saving him the manpower. We also see that a pack gun has come online for Mr. ASSBAG. And, yeah, I mean, the howitzer and the, well, I mean, we're not looking at the OKW right now, but the infantry support gun, they have been changed, and they no longer provide suppression as they used to. But they're still pretty strong. I mean, it's, you know, basically more powerful mortar. It's pretty accurate and can do a lot of damage, but yeah, they no longer suppress. So Grant's popping out of the church, putting themselves into a legit house. And the lieutenant, a little bit further up, capturing territory. The church collapses to the pack howitzer, and it was smart of the Grants to move the hell out of the way. MG42 going to be moving up to the north with the stormtroopers nearby. We do have a rifle squad with bars, and those are 2 bars. Looks like they all have 2 bars. No, this one only has 1 so far. No, never mind, has 2. And this one over here has 2, so yeah, they all have 2. Grant's inside that house. They're actually going to take a lot of damage to the bars there. They're currently focusing on fighting the captain inside the house, which they are going to kill the members inside, but it's not going to be too easy to do. The units outside are now getting targeted by the members inside the house, which is nice. And up in the north, the rifle squad is engaging the stormtroopers at range, as they are inside that house, but with 4 windows in its direction, they're able to have the cover and the firepower. Grant and the southern shack are forced to retreat. Center map, we do see the pack on the howitzer and infantry moving around. We do have these Grants back in the shack over here, still holding the line. And Pyos with flamethrowers now coming online. So Jove, though, does go for the tier 4, skipping his tier 3 altogether, which is kind of nice. Ooh, we also see a sniper at this late stage of the game. 19 minutes sniper. That is a very interesting decision. ASSBAG has selected his Doctrine, and that is the armor company, calling in a bulldozer. Yeah, bulldozer Sherman getting called in. That's pretty strong. Moving right now down to the south. Gets a good shot going there, although it impacts on the other side of the wall, allowing the Panzer Grenadiers to get out of there alive. They're going to have to run a bit of a gauntlet through, oh, a rifle squad there. Taking some damage. More shots flying, but they should be able to get out of there alive. Wow, that was quite a gauntlet. They're going to run through yet another rifle squad with bars, all opening up on them, getting some more damage in. There's 3 men still left alive, which means that's not a lot of manpower lost considering the med bunker, so that's actually pretty good for Jove. Nice a nicely timed retreat there, allowing him to keep his troops. Bulldozer, literally bulldozing through the hedges, opening up the map. Getting some shots going. The Pio's forced to retreat, as of course the howitzer barrages, or not barrages, but shots from the bulldozer Sherman have a lot of explosive potential and can easily wipe squads. Pack gun does get a shot off on the bulldozer, forcing it to back off. And we hear the pack howitzer taking some shots at the Grens down in the south. More rifles capturing some territory. Center map, we see the rifles pushing forward. Stun grenade getting tossed there by the Grens, managing to be dodged there by the rifles. The rifles move back, getting into cover there by the victory point, managing to cap it. Victory points are 348 to 421, currently in the favor of Jove. And the Grens out in the front do get themselves battered and forced to retreat. Pack can also be forced to pack it up, literally. And we have the MG over here in the north. Bulldozer going to be moving up to the north. Probably going to be taking out that MG or forcing it to quickly get the hell out of the way. Sniper is on the field as we... No, the sniper is not on the field. Wait, did it get canceled? Or did it get killed? I think it got canceled in favor of the Panther, right? I'll double check and I'll just put a note there. 21. There. So I'll answer my own question in the video. And yeah, the bulldozer, like I said, moves up to the north, clearing out the MG from that shack, manages to pop it out. It tries to reposition itself with a second shot, nailing 2 of its members, forces the retreat as the lieutenant is going to be recapturing the fuel point up in the north. Center map, we do still have some forces for Jove moving around. Panzer Grenadiers getting up in the shack right outside the base for ASSBAG, providing a nasty position there for fire and pretty much catching those units in a bit of a pincer move. Grand Squad taking the brunt of the damage there by the bulldozer Sherman, forcing it to retreat. Pios with their flamethrower doing some damage on the rifles. The rifles forced to retreat as well, and the Panzer Grenadier is going to have to retreat as the bulldozer moves into position. It is exposing its rear armor, getting a shot off on its ass. Takes only a little bit of damage, not too much, so it's quite fine, but we do have now a Panther on the field for Jove, which is going to be able to deal with the bulldozer so easily. I mean, we do, of course, have that stolen pack gun to deal with for Jove, and there's the captain's bazookas, but I think the Panther's strong enough to actually just go on a assassination mission. Stun grenade getting tossed inside the house. MG42, not in 50 gun, sorry. Pops out, pops back in, dodges it quite masterfully, and gets out of there alive. Grand Squad, though, with 1 man remaining, is able to go back. So the Panther is going to go straight on against the bulldozer. Manages to not take damage from the stolen pack gun. Decides to expose its rear armor there, as it's going to try and crush the house, it looks like. Does open up the flank of that shack a little bit and takes quite a bit of damage. It's down to about half health, so it needs some repairs. But the bulldozer is nowhere to be seen now. We also see a Wolverine on the back for ASSBAG. That's an interesting choice, though. We'll see how it pans out, because at least from what people are saying, the Wolverines aren't really worth it as far as, compared to the Jackson. But, they were previously okay because they could take the damage. But I think they got changed. I forget, actually. They got changed in some way on the recent patch. The cost of them, I think. I forget now, but we'll see anyways how it works out, if it's good or not. So anyway, center map, Grant's engaging with rifles. Rifles able to win that engagement. Those bars just providing so much firepower, allowing them to stay on it. Pack howitzer getting a good shot inside that house. The stormtroopers able to dodge it quite masterfully. They're going to take another shot to the face. This time they are unable to get out of the way. Down to 3 men, still alive. Panzer Grenadiers in the center, forcing the retreat of the rifles. And everybody goes back. Down south, we have a rifle squad capturing some territory as we see the Panther moving down south. Panther has gotten repaired. Sorry about that. And it's apparently just going to go on a hunt. Going to try and see if it can crush some rifles, apparently. So Panther saying, surprise, motherfuckers. And no, it looks like it's just going to push away the rifles. So in this time frame, the Bulldozer Sherman going to be pushing straight through the center. Pack Howitzer able to do some damage to it. The Wolverine unable to really do too much against it because, well, it's a Wolverine. It's anti-tank. And the Pack Howitzer still getting some good shots on the Bulldozer Sherman. Down to about half health. Forces it to get decrewed and quickly repaired. Pack Howitzer returning some shots on the Pack Gun. Rifles and Grens engaging at long range. And the Panther moves straight through the center. Going to be moving up, and it's currently engaging the rifles. Not really what it's supposed to be doing, considering that it's more designed as a tank hunter. And the Pack Gun is moving up on the side of the Panther. Panther moving back. Yeah, it finally decides to focus on vehicles, which is what it was supposed to be doing. Potentially taking out the Bulldozer Sherman there when it was decrewed and getting repaired. So yeah, now it just decides to focus on vehicles, and should be good now. Makes it out of there, though. The Pack Gun was unable to get a shot off on it, so it's fine. Center map, the Captain moving up, taking some shots at the Pack Gun. Stormtroopers getting some shots at a distance. What did they get as veterans here? What does it say? They get the first aid at veterancy 1. They get rifle training, improves weapon accuracy, and at veterancy 3, survivability and weapon control. So they're more accurate at veterancy 2. Captain retreating, the Bulldozer backing off, and up in the north we do hear some engagements going as the MG-42 gets flanked by the Lieutenant, and we see the rifles engaging at long range against a Gren with LMGs. They turn themselves around against the Lieutenant, but with that close range firepower, they're going to get themselves either killed or defeated. They do get defeated, so they're forced to retreat. Down to 2 men, they have to run the gauntlet, down to 1 man on the final retreat. But with some Stormtroopers nearby for support, they should be able to get out of there quite fine. Panzer Grenadiers moving down south. We see the Pack Gun moving out of the way. Rifles, not rifles, Grens in the center. And victory points 339 to 355. Pretty goddamn even right now. ASSBAG still losing a little bit, but he's currently in the favorable side of a double cap. Well, not really a double cap, but 2 to 1. Only bleeds 1 point. Stormtroopers dodging that quite effectively. We also have a mortar on the field for Mr. Jove, an interesting decision. Potentially trying to go for the counter artillery on the Pack Gun, but even without that, it's actually still quite strong. Pack Howitzer just missing completely there on that thing. Panther set up to get some side shots on the Bulldozer Sherman. Gets some good shots going. There it goes, down to about half strength. We also see the Panzer Werfer on the field for Jove. Gets a nice barrage going and clears out both the 50 cal and the Pack Howitzer. The Panther moving back a little bit, providing some support against infantry. We see the Wolverine taking a nice shot there at range, getting a penetration on the frontal armor on the Panther. The Panther taking another shot from the Pack Gun. Now going to be forced to back off. The Bulldozer will not be going down here. The vehicle crew popping out, going to be repairing it. And they're actually currently focusing on repairing the Wolverine, which is interesting. Second Wolverine getting called in. And up in the north, we see rifles and Grens engaging at close range. Grens forced to retreat as a grenade gets tossed in their face, and they are unable to withstand. So, with the Panzer Werfer on the field, that does give Jove quite a bit of power there as far as infantry clearing goes. The 50 cal. I have another 50 cal? Wow. Ooh, stun grenade goes off, killing some infantry, stunning the remaining one, but the Grand Squad is unable to finish the job. MG-42 popping its incendiary rounds against the Captain. The Captain taking quite a beating there. A lot of damage going down on the Captain. The Captain is still trying to fight back. Bazooka shots firing, but yeah, they have to get the hell out of there. Panther, though, moves itself up to the far north. Quite exposed here. We do have the Wolverine and the Bulldozer Sherman moving up. We have a second Wolverine currently down south, which is interesting, though. And we do see a 240mm howitzer barrage getting called in on something over here. Didn't actually hit anything, so it's... Don't know what it was aiming at, though. We do have a lot of things retreating, though, from the field for Mr. Jove, so that may have been the intention, though. Everything currently... Is he going to go for the massive crush? Maybe. Pack gun moving back. Is currently set up. Panzer Warfare was set up in the defense of the base, so the Wolverine is unable to do too much. And the Panther moves back down. So Jove does have the points needed for the Tiger Ace. Does need a little bit more manpower. Kind of getting close to it, so he's probably just waiting on that, I would assume. Does have a decent amount of forces here. A lot of infantry fighting the Panther. Bazooka shots flying. Even the pack howitzer has been recovered. Wolverine taking some shots at the Panther. The Panther backing off as it was unable to do too much. Oh! The Panzer Warfare throwing another expert barrage there, getting some more hits, clearing out some more infantry and forcing the retreat of some troops. The captain also forced to back off a little bit as the bulldozer is also moving up. Bulldozer has gotten 10 kills so far. We do see the Panther moving down to the southern islands. We do have a Faust having gone off on a Wolverine. Wolverine quite damaged here. Takes a shot there by the Panther, but the Panther unable to finish the job there. Shot flies though and does get a penetration on the Wolverine. We do have the captain right next to the Panther. The Panther is going to have to move out of the way. Shots flying. The Panther very low in health. However, it is still alive. And population cap is actually the situation here for Jove. He does not have the population capacity to be able to call in a thing. We do see that the bulldozer Sherman has gone down for ASSBAG. He pops out the vehicle crew of the Wolverine and manages to keep it like that. But yeah, the pack gun, I believe, got itself a kill there. Yeah, vehicle destroyed one. Geez. Oof. The vehicle crews got... Well, that was interesting. Huh. Okay, so ASSBAG throws in the towel after suffering the loss of the bulldozer, but more importantly, because he just lost the vehicle crew for his tank, and then he calls in the howitzer barrage on top of himself. I think that was just like a frustration thing. It's just like, ah, fuck it, and then it was done. But yeah, the Grens were popped into these houses, and they cleared out the crews of almost everything here, and not sure what was going on there with him. But I mean, even then, it was a very uphill battle, because we can see here that Jove, like I said, he already has almost 1k manpower, which is more than enough for the Tiger Ace, which, like I said, the only restriction is that he doesn't have the population cap, which is also why I think he was sending these out, just to get him a little bit killed and reduce his pop cap. But yeah, it was an interesting game regardless, though. Kind of a weird ending there. Oh well. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.